Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. May your comings and goings be forever covered by the grace of the Most High. When in doubt, go within. I know you weren't expecting me live, darling dears. Surprise! Ha ha! Let's dive right in and unpack. Oh, you have the energy of a 7, darling dears. When we see a 5 and a 2 or a 2 and a 5, someone is going down Bobby Brown. This is someone in the public sphere where we'll all notice it, darling dears. Remember I told you that. Over the next few days, someone's going down in a big way. Okay. The energy of the 5, darling dears, tells me that your foundation or somebody feels threatened by your foundation, some kind of security that you're building for yourself, stability, darling dears. It could also be the foundation within your own self, darling dears. You're not 100% sure. Bernicia Mango, fist bump. Didn't expect me, did you? Ha ha! I like to turn up on a big cat. Anyhow, as I was saying, or it could be within yourself, darling dears, not being sure of your next move, or if you're in a secure position. We also have the energy of the 2, darling dears. The 2 tells me that this is going to be an extremely fortunate period for you. Whether it's a business trip, going for an interview, starting a business, some kind of business deal is going to be fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. It's an extremely fortunate time for you, darling dears, a lucky period. You'll be getting compliments in the form of people telling you that you're fabulous. Why not, darling dears? Listen, it's a wonder to behold when they see a big cat in their presence. Fist bump. Anyhow, let's carry on, darling dears. So people are going to be giving you compliments, darling dears. People are going to be helping you along the way. This is also telling me that you've been meditating, taking the time to go within. Best place to be, darling dears, where all answers lie. Okay. The energy of the 2-5, as I already said, someone's going down Bobby Brown in a public sphere. And the energy of the 7 says that someone is coming to visit you, darling dears. Listen, it better be a friendly person, because I said to you before, darling dears, we do not have a volunteer. There's no one that we can send on our behalf to go through the tribulations of life. And if you have a volunteer, send them my way. I pay good skrilla for that, darling dears. Go through my... Listen... I wish I could. I wish I could. You also have the energy of the 5, darling dears. The 5 is about it's about your children, it's about dating, it's about romance, darling dears, as well as drama.com. The energy of the 5 also tells me that you are utilizing some kind of hobby, something that you had in the past, darling dears. You are utilizing this in the baddest way of them all, darling dears. These are your talents. It also speaks about these talents drawing attention to yourself over the next few days. Remember, I told you that. The energy of the 5 also speaks of fame, someone stepping out in fame. The energy of the 5, darling dears, also represents the monarchy. Yeah, some royal families going down Bobby. Listen, it's all coming out in the card. Someone in the royal family is going down Baby Brown. Make sure you let me know in the comments. Okay. The energy of the 2, darling dears, is the 2nd house. This is representative of the money, darling dears, your values, how you make your money. It can also represent people that are close to you, like family members, darling dears, that you keep within your circle, your close friends. Okay, it's about the possessions, the things that you can own, darling dears. Your clothes, your furniture, cars, investments, darling dears. But it's also tied up with your self-esteem, your self-worth. So all of this is involved in what's going on at the moment, darling dears. Okay. All right. You have the element of a 4 on top. This is a number of karma, darling dears. Karma.com. And guess what? The year is karma, the energy of the 8, as well as September is a karmic month, because the 1 and oh my gosh. September is a karmic month, darling dears. Just take me at my word, okay? All right, let's carry on. Let's carry on. The energy of the 2 and the 5 goes to a 7. So you could be a life path 7, darling dears. Or the number 7, 16 or 25 will be in your life over the next few days. It also speaks about the number 7 is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is Pisces. Pisces is the letters O and Z. 7 is G, P and Y. So you've got G, P, Y as well as O and Z. The number 7 also rules the South Node. So something from your karmic past is coming up for you to heal, darling dears. Could be involved in the visitor coming to see you, darling dears, to see if you're strong in the face of wickedness, darling dears. Skullduggerous behavior. They want to know if you're still strong, if you're still on your path, darling dears. Expect this visitation. The energy of the 7 tells me that you are in genius mode at this moment in time. Okay, this is about you utilizing your psychic abilities, darling dears. You are a natural born explorer. Hey, you're Dora the Explorer cat. Fist bump, love it. It also speaks about your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams over the next few days, darling dears. I would advise, once you wake up in the morning, don't go on your social media. Give it at least half an hour so that you can continue to what? Soak in the dream that you had. Be able to upload the thoughts of how you want your day to go at least half an hour before you get on any form of social media. You are still linked to the spiritual world, darling dears. You just woke up. Okay, carrying on. It also speaks of, your luckiest numbers will be 4, 5 and 7. The luckiest days will be Tuesday, Friday and Saturday. Avoid the numbers 2, 3, 6 and 8. It's involving a semi-sextile, so something healing and is about to be transformed or is transforming at this moment in time. This is a highly spiritual number, darling dears. A number that encumbers what? Wisdom. So you are attaching to your crown chakra, darling dears, getting divine wisdom. It also speaks about being more mindful going forward, darling dears. It also speaks about a disconnected spirit is going to be around. I told you someone's coming to visit you, darling dears, and this person ain't connected to nothing but wickedness. I keep telling you, they're coming straight from the crevice of the devil's balls. Whether they come to your home in person, darling dears, or get in touch with you over social media, it's all a visitation. It's how you handle it, darling dears. It's going to be the hands of what? Time trying to draw you back. Don't you remember when you had no hairline? Don't you remember? We need a bit of silence for your hairline, yeah? Yeah, you had none. There was not enough edge control to control what you needed to control. We won't be going back. But then again, I'm a pointer, not a picker. You have free will, darling dears. You can do exactly what you want. But if you make a mistake, I'll be right here waiting for you. I told you, listen, just because I'm a pointer doesn't mean that I can't tell you what you did was foolhardy and you didn't have a volunteer. All right, let's carry on. As I said, the karmic number of the 8 is about your money as well as karma. Karma being applied, or as I said, the South Node is involved, darling dears. So this is person coming to see you, or people coming to see you. Whatever visitation you get, darling dears, is to see if you've overcome whatever is in your South Node. This is why I tell you, get your birth natal chart, darling dears. Look to the South Node and see what it is that you was overcoming, because you will know, looking back at your life and where you are right now, you should not be the same cat. You are a learned cat. Whoever's coming towards you, darling dears, is going to be they need to find you in dramatic change. You handle the situation however you want. You might not want to even engage in the situation. Why? Lest you fall down that rabbit hole of wickedness. I told you, it'll take you straight back to hell in a handbasket. And that will be what? Straight up point A and point B, guys. Point A and point B, which is straight up what? Dummy back territory. Law number 10, avoid the unlucky and the unhappy. If somebody's going down, they want to take you with them. Okay. The energy of the 7, darling dears, according to the Low Shoe Grid, it speaks about children and your creativities, your past talents that you are now utilizing, darling dears. Okay. It also speaks about you are doing something involving some form of entertainment, darling dears. Your luckiest colors over the next few days will be white and pastel colors. Okay. Let's carry on. So it's the energy of Neptune. Neptune is the 12th house, the 12th house of hidden enemies, darling dears. The 12th house of undoing. Yeah, undoing your own self with ideas of grandiose, darling dears, not seeing the reality for what it is. The 12th house is also the house of endings, darling dears. The 12th house is the house of healing. But it's also what you realize in certain losses that you've had in your life up to this point were a necessary loss. Not everyone can come with you. The 12th house is also the house of what? Solitude, where you go within. It's a highly spiritual house, darling dears. The 12th house is also the house of family secrets, so it may even be a family member trying to re-engage you in fucking ease, blood. Listen, you can do what you want, but like I said, bestie, we ain't got time to play with what the feeble-minded and simpletons that are dead set in staying in their ways of what gossiping, scandal, looking for any morsel to offer to the general unwashed public. These are the people you don't deal with, darling. Just remember, you got up from those tables for a reason. And family should listen. They say blood is thicker than water, but water you can drink, darling dears. You can use it for life. Family is what you make of it as you go along your way. The deeper you get into your healing, darling dears, going through the DNS, the dark night of the soul. And that is not something to be played with. This is why many people are coming out of this DNS, and you are celibate, darling dears. Why? Because you learn to live alone. You are self-autonomous, darling dears. You're able to stand on your own. You're able to what? Listen to your own intuition. It's guiding you, has been guiding you to make you realize you don't have a volunteer. That should have been the first thought. Okay. We have the energy of 2 6s on the side. Where is that again? The 12th house, darling dears. So yeah, you know this person. This person is coming in with secrets, or possibly coming in to give you secrets. You don't want to hear it, blood. You don't want to hear what they've got to say, lest you be drawn back into fucking ease. Right. I'm going to get an oracle ancestral message, then press on at a hot trot. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, guys. Yeah, what did I say? They're coming in for a bit of ear hustling. I can't make it up. Doesn't it not say move in silencio? You are the professor of the puzzle, darling dears. And also we've got the what? They're coming in with the envy, jealousy, and hate. Listen, baby, do you not see the signs? What's the final card? We've got Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, darling dears. Gemini is also associated with the 11th house. So the 11th house is your groups, people that you used to hang with, darling dears. It could be because it's the house of your hopes and dreams, okay? The energy of the 11th house also speaks about your acquaintances, your associates. It represents your older siblings, darling dears, your grandparents. But somebody is coming back, darling dears. They're all looking at the business contacts you've possibly made. In the 11th house is someone looking at your skrillers, darling dears. Dema, conja, pentagale. Yeah, they're trying to get a figure on what you're actually doing, darling dears. It speaks about you being involved because the 11th house is also representative of Uranus energy, and that's technology. So you're doing something with technology, darling dears. Somebody's also about to adopt a child. This is going to create a lot of ear hustling, wanting to know the inside. Don't tell them anything, darling dears. They need to know nothing. Tell nobody nothing, right? Base of the deck, they're coming in as Prakala or Prakalisha. This is a shepherd of the devil himself. Yes, a full-on clown, darling dears. The energy of the 77. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. This is telling you to go within when they come. It's telling you to immediately go within. You need to hold some space for yourself, darling dears. It's also telling you to what? Continue to believe in yourself, darling dears. And it's about, yes, you're supposed to share your thoughts, your healing, but you're not meant to share it with this person. Remember, they are what? Shepherds of the devil. Prakala or Prakalisha, possibly a family member. We've got Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energy on the table. We've got the numbers 54, 12, 11, and 77. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's press on. Let's press on. Let's get the Oracle ancestral message. Which one should... They're all saying pick me. I can't pick all of you. I can pick one of you. Right? Which one? Oh my God. Right. We've got the life lessons. Thank you. Yeah, body work, darling dears. It also speaks about taking care of yourself. This is also I can't remember. This is something to do with the goddess, a pagan knot or something like that. Please put it in the comments, darling dears. Your life purpose involves body work such as a massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise. Find something else to do with your time when they turn up, darling dears. Get to the gym, right? Go within. Yeah, this is about focusing on you, darling dears, because you are irreplaceable and you have to be your best friend. Why? Because you're always with you, darling dears. You've got to get along with you. And that means not putting anything above you, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. Okay, fella. Greetings. Big cat wave. Don't put nothing ahead of you, darling dears. Take care of your own temple. Remember, I told you that. Base of the deck, because they want to see what's in your wallet, darling dears. They want to know how many pentacles you've got and if you can lend them. Yeah, 12th house is of skullduggery, darling dears. I told you, they're coming in with the secret behaviors. This person, when you see them or when they get in contact with you, they're so far from you, darling dears. They're going to appear like a stranger. But they will be definitely coming in hiding their true self. They have a hidden self, darling dears. This person has definitely got some form of karmic debt on them. They've got some kind of mental illness. Mental illness? Ooh, child, what do you mean? Listen, you don't need to go in to find out, darling dears. I told you, I'm prepared under all circumstances. I've got my nay, darling dears, my nay. And if they dare approach my window, I'll go to an upper window. And I'll drop this from a highest window onto their head, darling dears. They won't know what hit them. They'll be like chicken licking. The sky's falling in. The only thing you'll have to do is call the popo to get them off your walkway so they cannot interrupt the big cat walking. You're going to what? An abundance, darling dears. Abundance comes on many levels, whether it's through Skrilla.com, people around you, darling dears, people being put in your path to get you to where you need to be. Remember, I told you that. We've always got something to lose, darling dears, but never lose your common sense, your flip-flop. Oh my God. I told you, these people, being cleverness, smartness is a superpower amongst them, darling dears. A superpower, something that they can never attain. Let's go to one more deck. We're going to quickly go with the blue. Thank you. Yeah, you had to become a keyboard psychologist around these back, front, neck tabbers, darling dears. You've also got what? The energy of 35. Nothing like time, darling dears. Time. The energy of the 8 is about karma. Yes, baby. You've healed something and it took you a time to do this, darling dears. The energy of the 8 is Pluto energy. And Pluto is about transformation. But did you know the other side of Pluto is someone that likes to meddle? Yes, get all up in your business. Someone that wants to what? Destiny steal. Listen, it's a true thing, darling dears. Always keep yourself protected. But it's about time, darling dears. Maybe they think enough time has passed that you forgot. Did you forget, Big Cat? Did you? Yeah, you went into the unknown, right? You closed many cycles already. You've already passed judgment on the situation. And did I not just tell you? It's a family member. Remember, they're coming in as an ear hustler, right? Yes, baby. Anything they tell you will be the whisperings of Hannibal Lecter. Yes, and anything they take from you will be used as what? Merchants of slander. Remember, I told you that. They're coming in with what? Jealousy, envy, and hate, darling dears. Could be Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, darling dears, but it's the 11th house. They want to know what's in your wallet. And your abundance could be what? The common sense you now hold, darling dears. Realizing some things you had to be a necessary loss in order for you to get to where you need to be. Remember, we are volunteers here, darling dears. I don't know about you, but this is my last lifetime on this Malkuth, darling dears. And I'm going to help you whether you like it or not. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to help you. I will help you, right? Until my dying day. Why? Because people like to take the piss. No, they don't like to take the piss. They like to take a shit in your life. And then turn around and say, did it hurt? Are you all right? Have you forgotten? I've got no mocha. Oh my God. And I'm in the middle of a live. Can I? Oh, they put new things up. Can you hear this? Did you hear me just then? They've got a microphone on the... O'Shea? It sounds like I'm calling someone from afar. I'm calling my son from upstairs. O'Shea? Just a second, guys. Could you please make me a coffee? Yes, baby. Right, let's carry on, guys. Now we're getting to the important stuff. So we know that it's a family member, right? You've already stepped out into the unknown where you had to live your life according to what you wanted to do. And that was very hard. Why? You was used to having these people around, doing whatever they did, but they never liked you. You was always different, darling dears. And when you realize that you had to take it back to your body is the most important body in every circumstance or situation because you cannot be replaced. And we are all here to what? Live our North Node. Right. Shall we press on? We're going to press on, darling dears. We're going to press on. Let's get a deck I haven't used in a while. Base of the deck, darling dears. Three of Cups. The Three of Cups speaks about some form of gathering, darling dears. It could be for... it could be in a group setting. It also speaks about you being authentic. Be your authentic self. If they don't like it, they're not meant to be around you, darling dears. It also speaks about some kind of celebration coming towards you, darling dears. Could be in the form of dating. I told you, 5th house, you could be dating. It could also be something involving your children, okay? The Three of Cups is also what? Feminine energy. Well, we've all got feminine energy in all of us, darling dears, but at different stages in our life, sometimes we got to get into the masculine and the role to get to the bag, darling dears. Cancer energy. Let's give it a good shufty. See, what do they want? What do they want? What do they want? We're minding our own business, focused on our own life. Right? Coming to put you in what? A hard situation. This is the Moon and Libra energy. Libra is what? One-to-one relationships, darling dears. Energy of the Libra also speaks about open enemies. This person is an enemy, darling dears. Moon is also the house where the betrayal is, the fake frenemies, darling dears. Yes, yes, yes. This is someone getting up from the bottom of the pit, darling dears. Coming to put you in a situation where you're going to have to make a decision. Listen. The only decision is you. All decisions is you. What's that? Your South Node's in Libra. And mine, just like me, Bernicia, my North Node is Aries and my South Node is Libra. So we're twins. How about that? I told you it's about your money, some kind of foundation that you're building for yourself, darling dears. We've also got now Virgo as well as the Mercury energy, okay? Somebody's also got some kind of doctor's visit because Virgo is about your health. It's about your employers, your employment situation. You may have had, look, this is the person from the past, darling dears. Yeah, they've got a bit of nostalgia. They're remembering that you was easily fuck withable. Yes, they're remembering it, darling dears. They want to know if you still got that little whatever it took for them to do whatever they did. Split the deck, darling dears. The devil's a lie. You better not be clear about this situation. They're coming to deceive you, darling dears, in every way, shape, or form. Remember, we are in a karmic year at this moment in time. So they're missing you in a situation. Again, miss you with the blood clottery, darling. Is we got to get to the crux of what's going on. This person is coming in to what? Fool you in any way, shape, or form. This is the Palace of Swords, darling. Is in the reverse. This person is not using any form of logic. They're not going off anything from the past to say that you'll still be open to these situations and circumstances. Base of the deck, darling dears. It's always about the money. It also could be somebody coming in to borrow some of that Skrilla from you, darling dears. They want to borrow money from you. Tell me about the Two of Swords. Yeah, this person is a gossip, darling dears. Knight of Wands, going from village to village, or should I say mud hut to mud hut, with anything you told them. King of Pentacles. It tells me that you took some kind of a risk. You could also speak about an entrepreneur. This person has been taking some time to come towards you. Good golly and the gosh, darling dears. When we see two knights on the table, darling dears, in juxtaposed, you've had many disagreements with this person, but you had the Two of Swords. Your mouth wasn't free to say what you wanted to say in that situation, darling dears. Energy of the Swords, you could have been holding back because you wanted to guard their feelings. I told you, Libra energy, one-to-one relationships. You was trying to keep a relationship with this person or people. King of Wands. It tells me that you are what? Highly intuitive. Okay. Thank you, son. Say hello. This is live. I haven't been live for ages.
Hi, everyone.
He's gone now. Shut the door. Right. Yeah. Tell me about the King of Wands on your Pentacles. You could have a business that involves some kind of spiritual work, religious work, whatever it is, darling dears. They want to see how you're doing. They want to know how you're making your bank, darling dears. Whenever we see an archway, it speaks about a portal, some kind of opening for you, darling dears. It could also speak about some kind of a business, as I said, spiritual work. Yeah, because they want to take you down, Bobby Brown, darling dears. This is someone that has had prior access to you, darling dears. The energy of the Three also speaks about this person created a lot of beauty. I don't know. If it was a working environment, it's office politics. If it's a home environment, it was still office politics, blood. Yeah, knife, sword. They always had you in your head, darling dears. You didn't know if this was your friend. You didn't know they was your friend. It also speaks about you doing a lot of thinking about the past, darling dears, and realizing that you had to be what? Tinky winky. Yeah, you had to get your bag and move out of that situation. Every situation that's happened since then has been for the betterment of you. Underneath the Six of Cups, you don't care about what's in the past. Yeah, because you've got the badass alchemist ways, darling dears. You can create whatever you want, but it's about getting your mind right. I've told you many times, whenever you're trying to manifest something to you, darling dears, you've got to create that emotion within you. Okay, a prime example of that. If I have to drive somewhere, darling dears, and I've got to park, I let the angels of parking know that I'm on my way and I'm coming in hot. I always have the space to park. Somebody's always pulling off as I'm pulling in. I know this is just a minor example, but it's about you knowing that it's already yours. Divine gave us this whole Malkuth, darling dears. It's like a playground to us once you understand the game. Understand that you are professor of the puzzle. You can overcome any situation, but you have to get your mind right. Energy of the 8. Remember I told you that. We've got Jupiter and Gemini energy. They try to block your throat chakra, darling dears. Gemini energy is about communication. Okay, somebody also interrupted some kind of a travel plan that you had, darling dears, or it didn't go as smoothly as you expected it to go. The energy of the 3rd house speaks about siblings, younger siblings, extended family members, darling dears, uncles, aunts, nephews, nieces. Listen, they're looking at what you got going on, darling dears. They can't understand you. Well, guess what? You're getting the good justice again. Libra energy, darling dears. This is about you making new contacts or new contracts. Nothing like time, darling dears. Time. Right, let's get to the core of what's going on here. Tell me some more about the justice. Justice and strength, darling dears. You've got major arcana coming out. Divine had a hand in your life because you had to wake up. Yeah, wake up to the fucking knees. The bull swanky, darling dears. And what? It's the Aquarius energy and the moon. None of them was your friend, darling dears. None of them. This is what you have to understand. They was never your friend. And if they was involved in your situation, again, the 11th house, you had something to give, some money, some advice. You was always pouring into them, darling dears, but they never poured into you. You was depressed. You had nowhere to turn. Again, we've got the Gemini energy again, and we've also got Mars energy, darling dears. You had to take a hold of your life. And if that life meant you had to let go of family members, so be it. Moat. Hey. You have to drop them like a dirty shirt. It would have always been like this, darling dears. Coming in to take, and take again. Base of the deck. 3 of Cups. You're making the right choices. Moving forward. Your heart is still involved in a situation, darling dears. But you've learned how to fall back. Again, the Libra energy. As well as what? Jupiter. Jupiter's about the expansion. When you fell back, darling dears, you learn new things. The energy of Jupiter is the 9th house, darling dears. So you've done some form of higher education. This is about your philosophy. Maybe you've learned a new language, or you're looking to move to a foreign environment, darling dears. Somebody's also publishing at this moment in time, something to do with the internet. The 9th house is also about you learning your astrology. You learn many things. This is why I always task you with what? Being a keyboard gangster. When you finish crying, because I know you cried for some time. You cried. Don't lie to me. You cried. You did. Because you didn't realize what you was letting go was for the betterment of you. You did cry until you met me. And I told you to go straight to the mirror. Look deep into your eye chakras. And then slap the shit out of yourself with your left hand. If you're right-handed, you use the left hand because that's your jazz hand, darling dears. You don't know when it's coming. Slap it until you was, right, getting common sense, darling dears. Then to wash your face like David and let's get on with things. You cried over these people until you realized that that crying was just taking your strength, darling dears. The energy of the 8th house speaks about your spiritual growth. Yes, you care for others, darling dears, but you have to care for people that truly pour into you, a true friend. This is all about you being brave, darling dears. When that was all you had to be, was brave. You didn't know why you had to be brave. And you healed. All of this sword energy, darling dears. You cried over these people. People that don't mean nothing to you right now, darling dears. Again, the Mars energy, putting yourself first. Base of the deck, we've got the Queen of Wands. Again, highly intuitive, plan, plotting and strategizing. This is you looking towards your future, darling dears. Leaving the past behind. You've already been through the trauma and the drama. Saturn energy. Saturn comes through the rules and regulations. Saturn is also the ruler of time. Yeah. Why would you want to go backwards when so much is ahead of you, darling dears? What's that? Bernicia said you spent years crying. Yeah. Listen, I'm not immune to that, darling dears. I cried some bitter tears. Especially the day after I had to drive down to this was in 2022. And I went to my sister's house because she called me up in the middle of, well, it wasn't the middle of the night. It was 6:40 in the morning. And she was going through some domestic abuse with her partner. And then she never answered the phone. So from you don't answer the phone back to me and you're going through some shit, I'm going to drive my car to see what the fuck is going on, right? Because I just lost a sister. And when I got to that house, it was 7 of them against me, 1. Listen, I dealt with every one of them, but I also had to put down that relationship once and for all. That sister never meant me any good. Never. Was always there stabbing me in the back. And I saw how her children treat my children. My children called her auntie before her name. But me, they called me by my first name. There was never no respect. And that was the best decision I ever made. I put down every single one of them, darling dears. The only thing you need to keep copacetic, darling dears, is yourself. Your own body work, darling dears. Yes, and you have to remember, you can't take care of your progeny unless you are soul. Your soul is on the right path within, darling dears, to guide your children. Take care of yourself. And never you ever forget that Google is your friend. Google, yes, you can find out so much. Yeah, because this is what you're creating. A stable foundation, darling, is whatever that stable foundation is to you. When we see the dormouse, it tells me he was going through a time where it was mundane. But you also have the frog, darling dears. And the frog is telling us that what you previously thought was unachievable, unattainable, is about to be gifted to you. Why? Because you had to go through the time, darling dears. You had to go through the time. Okay, fella, don't be sorry. Be glad. What do you mean? Listen. I've got my progeny, darling dears. I've got all of the big cats. I've met so many amazing people in this journey over the past 5 years. People that I would kick someone's ass for, darling dears. Sometimes you've got to let go in order to what? Open up to the universe, darling dears. And this platform has brought so many beautiful souls into my life. Yes, in most cases, they've been going through something. It's going to make me cry. But when I see the light bulb goes on from the readings, the birth natal charts, the things that I've done for them, they've come back to me and they've realized where they need to change, what exactly was holding them back. That is where I get my gratitude from, darling dears, in opening someone else's eyes to their infinite possibilities. And where you are right now does not, I repeat, does not have to be your final destination, especially if deception is afoot. You're building this stable foundation, darling dears. Build this stable foundation. You can achieve anything you want. We've got the Knight of Swords again. It's speaking about the heartbreak you overcame. But it also speaks about what? New social contacts coming towards you. Be careful of the High Priestess in reverse. This is someone who is possibly a mistress, but it's also a deceptive woman or man, darling dears. And that could be the energy that's coming towards you. We've got the Page of Swords, confirmation, darling dears. Someone who wants to know what's going on with you. And again, look, the High Priestess in reverse. This is not someone who is not above what? Spellcastation. This is why you got to be careful who you let into your house. Be careful. Because you've already left that situation, darling dears. And there's no going back. There's no looking over your shoulder. No, blood. Remember Lot's wife, Salt Bay. Remember, you had to work to become the red light, green light champion, as am I, of 79. Base of the deck. Continue with your skeet. Mercury energy. Being wise, darling dears. As well as what? The 11th house, Aquarius energy. Moving forward. And again, you're doing something with electricity online. And you're a badass at it, darling dears. Keep it going. Energy of the Mercury twice, darling dears. It speaks about you utilizing your logic. Yes. You've called judgment on many situations. And once you've called judgment, there's no going back. You can't go back to a place that broke you for any form of healing. None. And you have to remember, not all of these relationships in the past was of God, darling dears. It was for you to get up and out of that situation, which you've done like a boss. Right. Let's press on. Let's get a final card. And then we're out of here to get great. Because I've got some things to do today, darling dears. You thought I was going to tell you, innit? I tell no one nothing. Wait. And if I'm going to tell you, it's after it's done. This is a twin flame. I call it a blowtorch. Why? Because they're on the snake, darling dears. Be careful of the snakes trying to come back into your life. Remember, they've got karma attached to them, darling dears. This is old blowtorch that's coming to ruin your life. Remember, I told you that. Base of the deck. Love yourself first and foremost, darling dears. Self-love, self-care, and self-worth, darling dears. You're going to attract what you need into your life, but you have to always put yourself first. On that note, I drops me mic. Turn over to my Teespring, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat.